I'm here to teach and comfort people. Because Jah put her here so for do the work there. Lean on me when you're not strong.
His voice was pure, uplifting, almost spiritual. In the early 1990s, Garnet Silk was hailed as the savior of roots reggae, a rising star destined for greatness. But just as quickly as his light began to shine, it was extinguished in tragedy. This is the story of Garnet Silk's forgotten glory. Born Garnet Damien Smith in Manchester, Jamaica on April 2nd, 1966, the young Garnet was surrounded by music from an early age. He first entered the music scene as a DJ, performing under the name Bimbo. But his destiny was greater than just toasting over rhythms. Under the guidance of veterans like Derek Morgan and Tony Rebel, Garnet Silk transitioned into singing. And it was there, with his rich, soulful voice, that he truly found his calling. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, Garnet Silk was beginning to capture the attention of reggae fans with heartfelt songs like We Can Be Together and his breakout anthem, Hello Mama Africa.
Listen to a father.
His voice was unlike anything the world had heard before, spiritual, powerful, and filled with love. In the early 1990s, Garnet Silk had become one of the brightest stars in reggae's roots revival movement. His debut album, It's Growing, in 1992, and the later Gold, showcased not only his vocal mastery, but also his deeply spiritual messages. Songs like Zion in a Vision, Love is the Answer, and Mama carried a message of hope, faith, and righteousness. On stage, Garnet Silk was a force of nature. His performances at Sunsplash and Reggae Sumfest left crowds in awe. Many believed he was destined to be reggae's next global icon, an artist who would carry on the torch once held by Bob Marley. Critics, fans, and fellow musicians all agreed Garnet Silk was the future of reggae. He believed that music was of divine power, a force to lead people in the right direction, or as he put it, music is the rod and we are Moses.
I'm on CI self and many others who deal with music the right way, as Moses and reggae music especially is the rod. See, I'm gonna say music is the rod and we are Moses, leading God's children to the promised land.
His vision for the music came from Zion, which set him on a mission to change the course of reggae, the dancehall space, and the culture.
I attending the dance hall can make enough changes, because certain people now come and dance and now go and dance, and certain people not going to the church. So it take man like I to go into the dance, go make them make God's children who attend the dance to know what is what, so that they can elevate themselves in whatever aspect they are to be elevated.
Garnet Silk was an archangel. He was a spiritual person with a kingly character that was ever growing with his newfound love of music.
Well, you have no praise. All praises belong to the Almighty. As me say, I man give all the praise to the Father while I pray for my blessings to rise, you know. Because he is worthy to be praised. But we can't deny feeling good about all of this. Because we are very much happy that he chose us to play such great role that we are playing today.
Garnet Silk was such a wonderful human being. Garnet Silk carried a certain spirit with him.
Yes.
as a person, and I used to just love that, you know. He wasn't with us for long, but his time here in music business on earth was really special, you know, because the man uplift your vibe. Every time him come around, him have a way for it. I remember when we were recording the song now in the studio, when he came to put on his voice. And I remember when the engineer punch and him start putting his part now and then, he said they request that the two of us go back in and sing the chorus together.
Okay.
And we're inside there sing, man, and when you look through the glass in the control room where everybody was, I've never seen that them kind of looked upon nobody's face yet in music. It was like a spiritual vibration that took over the entire room, and people was just there watching and looking on and just quiet, and it's magic. You know, those memories will never leave me.
I never forget one Friday. See, Garnet died studio and Capleton come there. So I call Boxer and say, Boxer, Capleton died studio, you know. Capleton died studio, you know, and him forward. But we didn't, we have vice, but there was like, anytime it touch 6 o'clock, you know, so vice have it done because him, a Rasta, him Sabbath start. See? So we have him in I studio around 7 o'clock and Garnet say, yo, it's against my principles. Did it, so till eventually, you know what, when that done now, Lucian was there till, when they tell Lucian I ball it. See, that done now, and Garnet said, no man now go home. I said, Garnet I talk about. It was a Friday, but we never have no dance, so in a play. So all the way I go for my house, go read Bible. I said, go read Bible that Friday. I don't know about the Bible thing called me. I think about maybe if I go look for a girl or something. So me, Capleton, 2 youth to forward with Capleton, Luciana, my brother named Buggy, and Keith, who used to play jar with me. And the youth used to drive around them tell the tune. But what do we go for Garnet house? And when Garnet started preach about Selassie, I think, Luciana is a man, the man, a Bible man, the man, they believe that Jesus Christ them time, you know. And every time he asks Garnet something about Selassie, Garnet either show him the truth in the Bible, or him show him but one of them VHS, as I call them, the cassette for a long time, VHS cassette. Because Garnet did have a whole heap of cassette about Selassie, you know.
His philosophy and his belief was that he was definitely no doubt worship His Majesty as God, and on the other hand, I see His Majesty as a great king and an emperor, defender of the faith, because the Bible says He is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God. It was God who elected him. So people try to skip out a part there when say he was elected by God. So His Majesty, I try to tell Garnet, I love His Majesty and I give Him His praise. But the same way I see Jesus Christ, I see His Majesty as a light and a way unto the God of creation. And I speak of Yahweh, Jehovah, I am that I am, God of Jacob and Abraham. So I hit the name, one whole long reason sometimes sweat a bust out of skin.
He had no interest in vanity. Iconic sound system owner and selector Ricky Trooper said Garnet Silk did not have a money mind.
Although Garnet transcend God, Garnet, if a man tell me say, if them ever give Garnet Silk a money night and he take it for a double plate, I lie them a tell upon him. He has never, he not do that something there.
Wow.
He not, Garnet not take no money from you, and Garnet not smoke, and Garnet not drink. He not smoke and he not drink. See? So eventually I start running the program them now and I start have thousands of dollars, millions of dollars studio for Garnet. And a man one day we call you and say, Trooper, you know some have something to do, like a little light bill for pay. And I said, you don't talk about light bill. Me have a whole heap of money here for you. And him now say, send them the money coming up. He must say, yo, I'm going to send me a little driver, just give him a thing for me.
But then, tragedy struck at a turning point in Garnet Silk's career. On December 9th, 1994, just as his career was about to blaze the trail internationally, in a twist of irony, Garnet Silk's flames faded when he died in a house fire at his mother's home in Mandeville. He was only 28 years old.
Go away, cause of it, oh, go away, just go away.
Reports say Garnet Silk tried desperately to save his mother when the blaze broke out. In that act of courage and love, both their lives were lost. The reggae world was stunned. A voice that carried so much promise, so much light, was silenced in an instant. Jamaica mourned, the world cried, and reggae lost one of its brightest stars. Garnet Silk's widow, Novlin Banton, Silk's fiancé at the time, says her world was turned upside down at the reggae legend's passing. In an interview with the Jamaica Gleaner in 2018, she said,
"It was horrible. I was 6 months pregnant with Garnet Silk Jr. when it happened, and it was the worst thing that could ever happen to any human being. 1 minute you're there and your life is great, and then you wake up and everything just changes drastically. I didn't celebrate Christmas before, so that remains the same. But December is a hard time for me because that's when he died."
She said his last message to her was to call his close friend and fellow artist Luciano because he wanted to get to him. At the time, Luciano had a stage show in Mandeville where Silk was booked to perform, but he didn't make it.
When Garnet Silk suffered that terrible transition in Mandeville, there was a show there that night. I never forget, at Manchester Plaza. I was there performing, and I performed, and Garnet should come and close the show because that was the set. That's how the stage, the setting was. He was to come and close the show, and you know, my brother, after I work and come out on the balcony and ringing out, I never forget ringing out Marina card, sweat, and my whole body wet. And we see a fire over Hatfield side, and I said, wait, which fire that? And same time I said, boy, I must cane them about now. But I said, but no cane feel no there, sir. I went to drive out and I reached town and to get the car, and them said, boy, Garnet Silk died, you know. So them burn him up in a fire and one up and sit down. So from there and then, I'm at the right at the way I take and put on my clothes and call Mikey General and drive back to Mandeville. By the time we reached by Mandeville, it was daylight, and we went to the morgue where they brought his body and asked them to make me see them body. But Mikey General never want to go in because she just start growing locks. My one just start growing too. But me saying to myself, say, boy, I hear me fire. No matter how my locks. Before someone wash with lime and read two songs, but I have to go see the body of this great man who just, we have to go see him.
Though Garnet Silk's career was cut tragically short, his music continues to live on. His songs are still celebrated for their spirituality, their depth, and their timeless messages of peace, love, and faith. Artists like Jacure, Buju Banton, and countless others have cited Garnet Silk as a major influence on their music. And yet, despite his greatness, Garnet Silk's name often fades into the background when reggae legends are mentioned. Unlike Bob Marley or Peter Tosh, his story is less known to younger generations. But for those who remember, Garnet Silk was more than just a singer. He was a prophet of reggae's roots revival, a man whose voice carried the weight of hope. 3 decades later, Garnet Silk's legacy reminds us that true glory never dies, even when history forgets. Garnet Silk was posthumously awarded the Order of Distinction, OD, in the rank of officer class in October 2025. This for his contributions to reggae music. The award was accepted by his family. His son, Garnet Silk Jr., is ringing the family name proud, walking in his father's footsteps, echoing the sweet sounds of righteous reggae music across the world. This was Garnet Silk, the man whose music lifted hearts, the prophet who inspired a generation, and the soul whose voice still echoes through reggae's eternal soundscape. Gone too soon, but never forgotten. If you believe Garnet Silk's story deserves to be remembered, like, comment and share this documentary and keep his legacy alive.